Welcome back. Shannon is right over there. I'm Conrad. Ben and Anna are joining us today for our guest series of What's in Your Leadership Backpack.
We're so excited to have you both here, and we want to just kick it off by asking, what is one tool or approach that's in your leadership backpack right now?
Yeah, I think the tool we're using the most is the leadership map that Shannon has introduced us to. So the idea of really going into an assignment or a project or a work stream with good clarity on your leadership roles. So Ben and I are co-leaders, so we really have to stay in step with each other. And we're partners in work and life. So this is a good checkpoint for us. Are you leading from the front? Are you leading from behind, from the side, or from the field? And that's a really helpful framework for us. We have also been working to build a team over the last year after 7 years of practicing directly and doing everything ourselves. And so we're just learning that practice too of elevating and delegating. And what I love about the leadership map is it's a really nuanced way to understand roles as opposed to very traditional racy matrices that don't really get at the nuance of the kind of role that you really need to play to be effective. So we have new teammates, for example, on our team, and we really need to clarify with them as we're transitioning work that we have held on to and led from the front, from the side, from behind, and from the field all at the same time. We really need to clarify for them, hey, in this mode, I am going to continue to lead from the front, or in this mode, I'm going to lead from the front for the next few weeks, but we're really trying to transition to me leading from the back and you leading from the front. So it gives us just a great framework to have a conversation. And I love that it really hits at the nuance of roles and really enables some really good conversation and clarity for us and for our team. What would you add to that, Ben?
Yeah, plus one to all those observations. I think I like that. What I like about the model is it just provides multiple ways of leading. I think I always had this conception, leading is about being out front, and really kind of leading the charge. But it's not, right? It's more nuanced than that. And so I think that's been kind of liberating for me. And yeah, I think also just the model of kind of the leader within and that self-work and really kind of exploring, what is my model of leadership and being able to lean into that has also been very empowering.
Yeah, it's really interesting because we co-lead and we co-founded Workshop together 7 years ago, but we have really different leadership styles. And we have also had to learn over the years to really clarify what kind of role we're playing on work together. And that tends to happen pretty naturally between us, but we have found a lot of benefit from really naming that with each other, to say, hey, Ben, is this something you're leading from the front on? What kind of leadership support do you need from me? So it's just been really helpful. And I agree with Ben that it kind of gets at the different modes of leadership, because I think that we have mostly been taught that leadership is always from the front, but that obviously creates that's a pretty narrow definition of leadership, right? Because how am I creating space for my team to have opportunities to lead from the front if I'm always leading from the front? And also, if you're always in that leading from the front mode, it feels really pressured all the time. Like, oh, I'm the one who has to decide this, figure this out. I have to hold on to this. So I love the flexibility and the ability to play very different leadership roles, but create space for Ben as my co-leader or for my team.
Nice. We don't have anything to add to that. It's the most beautiful description of the leadership of the leader map and the way that we learn to work with it. Conrad, what do you think?
Yeah, I'm amazed and delighted about the impact it's had on each of you and then you together. And the only curious question I have is, what impact are you seeing on others when you lean into and use the leadership map?
Yeah, it's really interesting. I think for our team, one of the ways that I've been using it lately is we have a team member who's about 4 months in. She is a great leader already and really primed to take even more leadership, but she's stepping into client relationships that are in many cases 5+ years old. So it's been a really great framework for she and I to have a lot of conversation about how we transition her into a leadership role. And sometimes too, there are places where she's not transitioning to leading from the front, but she's playing this really important role of leadership from the side or from behind. And so I can just see that it creates so much clarity for her.
Mm-hmm.
What I love about it is that it's a shorthand. Like we can have this conversation even over ping before we step into a client meeting and say, hey, what's the role here? And instead of it always being, well, you're facilitating and you're taking notes, that's a very functional view of roles. And what I love about this is I can see that it helps us all show up with that kind of leadership presence, with the right leadership presence, right? And it's creating a lot of space for her and a lot of comfort level, I think, for her. And it's reminding me sometimes, like, yeah, I got to step back. I'm moving to leadership from behind on this. So it's just a great gut check for me, while I think providing some clarity for her. But what are you observing, Ben?
Yeah, I mean, it's helpful that we're using it with our coworkers, with our team, but then also even with our clients as well, and introducing them to the model and helping them think about their work in using that same model. I think the fact that the model is not, I would describe it as like not overly defined, right? Like it's conceptual enough. Like RACI, I think, is also very kind of verbal. It's word-based, whereas this model is visual, which helps all those visual thinkers out there like myself. But I think it maintains enough room and enough definition, not too much definition, where you can use it to kind of guide the types of human interactions you have. Like it's not too prescriptive. It's just the right level of definition.
Yeah.
Spacious. I hear the spaciousness and the solidness of the map. So we're gonna pause the conversation there and thank you both for sharing your experience of it. There'll be some links. We'll reference what we're talking about here in the description. Of course, also some bios for our two wonderful guests. A delight to be with both of you, and we'll see you soon.
Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.